everybody. So I will get right into it today, but we have good news and we have bad news. So, starting off with the good news, I picked up this lovely painting that I've been working on a long time ago. We picked it up again. I'm not sure if y'all remember, it was actually, I think my very first vlog I ever did for my YouTube channel here. But I started this painting about 5 months ago, and it was right as I kind of opened my commissions. And the first few commissions that I did had very, very short like due dates. So I had to put a pause on this piece for about 5 months, and I did, I think I wanna say I did about 4 commissions during that time. But we're picking it back up again and we're finishing it, and I'm so happy that I did. I've made some good progress on it since I put it down. And I could not be happier with how it looks. I'm so excited. So that is the good news, and the bad news is that we probably won't have any time-lapse footage for this. Womp womp. So the thing is that for my time lapses, I typically use this little, it's a GoPro, and it is the Hero 9 GoPro. And to be honest, even when this guy was working, I've never been that impressed with it. I don't know, the footage just wasn't that great, and this was actually 5 months ago. This was the very first painting that I ever did using that camera for a time lapse. So because it was the first time I'd ever used it, the footage is not that great. It's kind of been a tricky little camera to adjust to, especially for painting. To be honest, they're better for like outdoor videos and things like that. So the footage that I have from the beginning of this painting is not that great from all the time-lapse footage. And then last week it completely broke down on me. So it died, and I don't think it's completely dead. It may just be the battery, but still, I feel like after 5 months, the battery should not be dead. But yeah, so it kind of died on me last week, but I couldn't stop painting. So there's kind of a big chunk of this painting that is done where I don't have any footage. I don't have much footage at all for it. So the only good thing is that during that time when my GoPro is down, I did some kind of
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I wasn't talking to you. Anyway, during the time that my GoPro was down, I did some kind of test time-lapse footage using my phone. And I have a pretty new phone. I think it's the 12, the Pro Max, so it's the big one. And I've never been very good at all with iPhone photography or videography. But we did some tests with the time-lapse on the phone, and to be honest, it looks 1,000 times better than the GoPro ever did. It looks so much better. And even with the GoPro, it never looked that good at first, and I think I was recording in 1080p or something like that. So I even recorded a few paintings in 4K, and it didn't look much better in 4K either. So the phone was a massive improvement, I feel as far as just video quality goes. So we'll probably start using my phone for time lapses, which is great because I don't need to get a new camera. But the only downside is that I typically use my phone to listen to music and things like that while I paint, so I will have to find other ways to entertain myself. I'll probably put something on my laptop or something like that. But yes, so even though I think my future time lapses may be very much improved, I don't know if I will have anything available for this piece here. We have made a little bit of a boo-boo. It's fixable, but it's just kind of very frustrating, and I'll show you here in a second. But to be honest, it's not been my week. It's been a very bad couple of weeks for me, to be frank, and I'm just so frustrated right now. But, you know, I thought I would show you guys the good and the bad, so I'm gonna kind of walk you through what we're going through at the moment. And I will say with this piece, because it is like a night painting, it's set at night, it is very, very dark. There are a lot of dark colors. It doesn't show great on camera. So a lot of the like blacks and the really dark colors, they appear a lot lighter than they look on camera. And then also it's very reflective. So you'll see a lot of like reflective light, like kind of over here. So yeah, I'll do my best to show you what's going on, but it may look a little rough. All right, so pretty much everything you see is a lot darker. Like all of this kind of looks black in real life. It's kind of adjusting a little bit, but this is mostly black in real life with like a really dark kind of like purple through here. But what we have done, I'm kind of working on the street today, and if you can see, as I'm getting caught on my tripod. But here's a reference. I'm working on the street today. So we've got this like kind of blue to black gradient right here. And then we get a lot of these like reflective pinks and purples and kind of yellows on the crosswalk right here. And yeah, that's kind of what we're working on today. And to be honest, it's a large section here of the painting, but it's not super detailed. So I was thinking that I could finish this kind of quickly, but I don't I don't think that's possible anymore. So unfortunately down here, and it's kind of hard to see, this was supposed to be a crosswalk section, and then this was the black section. So I got my sections mixed up. So I'm gonna try to like I said, scrape off what I can of this, but there's still gonna be a lot of black paint left on here. And look, I even drew little squiggles so that I would know which sections of the crosswalk were black, and I still messed up. So we'll have to fix that. And then over here with this blue to black gradient, it's very, very choppy. And I think a lot of that has to do with the translucency of the paint. I'm really trying to not have to do 2 coats of this. So I'm painting a little bit on the thicker side than I usually do. And yeah, it kind of looks choppy through here. But I will say, because it is a street, it's not gonna be perfectly smooth. So I don't mind having a little bit of texture in that gradient. And then this is just, I haven't done this quite yet, so that's fine right there. But yeah, we're gonna have to scrape off this bit of paint here and try to paint over that. We are nearing the end of the day, and we got some good progress done. I'm still kind of unsure if I want to do kind of a second coat in this section or not. What I think I'm probably gonna do is, instead of entirely doing a brand new coat for the whole thing, I think I'll just kind of do some sections and almost like, I don't want to say spot treat it, but we're gonna have to do a little bit of detailing anyway. I got some of this crosswalk done right here, which I'm loving how it looks, but it's almost like too smooth for what we want the road to look like. So I'm gonna do some detailing on that, and I think I'm gonna do the same thing with the road right here. So what we'll do tomorrow is we will finish the rest of this crosswalk. Do some detailing on the crosswalk, do some detailing on the road right here. I think there's actually like kind of a stripe that goes across the road. And then these tiny little orange dots right there, those are street signs that will get put in. Yeah, so kind of once we finish this crosswalk, it's just all all some final detailing, so I might finish that tomorrow. If not, I should definitely finish it Wednesday, the day after. So, yes, that's about it for today. As far as painting goes, I am going to go downstairs and make some dinner for the night. And I will see you tomorrow. Good morning and welcome to my spare room. Today we're going to be doing some edges painting on the painting that we have up on the old easel back here. Yeah, so I have a couple commissions that are done and they are going to be shipped to their new homes at the end of the month. So I've got to work on some of the post-painting prep work, which today is going to be painting the edges. And what I use to do this, I typically paint edges either white or black, just a solid color. And I can do another video on that in the future because it's funny to me, but I find that what artists do with the edges is like one of the most controversial things in painting. Like people get so worked up about it. But I'm just gonna use, this is actually the student grade Winsor & Newton oil paint. And then I just mix a tiny bit of liquid in it just so it dries a little bit quicker. I don't paint with liquid. I used to. I now paint with linseed oil. I just find it easier to use as a medium. But this is the only time that I will ever use liquid. We are all done with the edges for now. I pretty much did the first 3 edges, and then the last edge, the bottom one, I will probably do maybe tomorrow or the next day. Sometimes if I'm a little bit more pressed for time and I need to do all 4 of them at the same time, I will lay the painting out flat on these cups. I keep these like little paper cups, and we'll just like prop the painting up on those. And that allows me to do all 4 of them at the same time, but it's always just a little bit more work. It's a little bit trickier to do. So if I have the time, I like to just do it like this and then like flip it a day or 2 later. But yeah, now that that's done, the only thing that we have left to do with the painting is sign the front and the back, add the wire, and varnish, and that's it. Something that everyone underestimates, I think, about painting or just doesn't know is how long it takes to set everything up. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it just takes me forever, but it takes me like at least an hour to get like the cameras ready. I have 2 cameras behind this one. To get the paints ready, I haven't even done that yet. To get my brushes ready, to get my like music ready, it takes ages. But we're just finishing that up, and this is where we left off last night with this piece. I was able to get a little bit more painting done last night, which is good. I put in these little like street signs here. So I'm hoping today, if I don't completely finish this piece, I'm hoping we can at least get all of the orange underpainting covered. I would like to just have a good base so that tomorrow, if I do have to paint or work on this tomorrow, it'll just be like some detail stuff. But yeah, that's where we are here. And now I just have to finish setting up. We are just about done blocking in the road here. We have this teeny tiny section of orange, these two sections, and pretty much all that is going to be is just this brown color that was used for the crosswalk here. It's gonna be that same color, just a little bit darker. So once we are done blocking in all of the road, I just have some detailing to do. So it looks like all the colors are nearly there, but it's just very flat right now. So yeah, we got a lot of details to add. There's gonna be a line that goes across the street right here. And then I also really want to kind of reinforce some of the lines of the crosswalk. Typically, I don't like to paint super defined lines. Usually, like realistically, when you see things, lines are a little bit muffled. But in this case, they got a little bit too muffled, and the lines of the crosswalk that are in the reference are just a little bit crisper than the painting. So we're just going to reinforce some of those lines, do the detailing, and then we should be about done. And that's a wrap for this piece here, which is going to be called Neon Spirits. I've pretty much had that title in mind for this piece ever since I started it like 5 months ago. I just feel like it's very fitting and I love it. But yeah, we're all done. I got all of the detail work done. I'm so happy with how the crosswalk looks and just kind of how it reflects all of those lights from the signs. Also, I did get the edges, at least both of these side edges painted, so that will make my life a little bit easier in the future, because we only have 2 edges left. But yeah, it's going to be available for purchase this Friday at 9 a.m., which is Friday the 13th, 9 a.m. ET. And yeah, we have a very busy day today, because our painting back here is finished. It is going to be listed on my website tomorrow. So today I have to get all of the listing photos and videos ready. I pretty much have to take photos and videos of this painting, both horizontally and vertically, so that we have photos for listings, but also like social media content and stuff like that too. Yeah, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot of content to make today. And yesterday I was a little bit sick. I had headaches all day, so I didn't do a ton yesterday. But yeah, other than creating some content for this piece here, the painting that we did the edges on the other day, that's all dry. So we're gonna flip it and paint the remaining edge on that so that it is ready to varnish soon. But yeah, just very busy day, taking a lot of photo and video. All right, we are just finishing up taking all of our vertical content. And if it looks really dark in here, it's not. I just find that because of the glare of the painting, that the natural light coming in from the window just makes it easier to photograph than using the light above. So that is why it probably seems really dark. But we're just gonna finish up and then take some horizontal video and photos for YouTube here. And yeah, I might try to see if I can take pictures of me with the painting today, but unsure of that. We will see. We now have our vertical video done, our vertical photos done. I was able to create a vertical like reel / short for social media, so that is done. The only other things I have to do today, photo and video wise, are take horizontal photos and videos, possibly take some photos of me with the painting, but then I have to create the full listing for my website. So we will do that, and hopefully the content creation portion of the day will be done, and that will be a very good thing. Put you up a little higher. And that about covers it for this video and for today. We got all of the photos and videos that I needed to get done for this painting right here to be live tomorrow on my website. So thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm so sorry I can't have more time-lapse footage for this painting here, but I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the behind the scenes, and there's definitely more to come. So give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and thank you for making it to the end. See you next time.